Yeah, I know it's a wee bit confusing because you think I'm out west right now on my Jess Goes West trip, when in actuality, I'm back home in Ohio. Life here on YouTube isn't always exactly lived in the moment, so I just want to let you guys know I'm home. I got my new garage, and let me show you what's inside this garage. So far, not a whole lot. Ugh, my face. So right now we have our old 1972 Kawasaki two-stroke, as well as my Royal Enfield Himalayan. I'm gonna move the Dyna over here soon, and then we have one more that I'm actually going to be adding. But before we do that, this pretty baby has to go away. Let's hop on the bike and I'll tell you about it. All right, let's start her up. I love this bike. So let's talk about this R18 Classic here. I have had this motorcycle since March 1st of 2022, and I put just a little over 800 miles on it. Unfortunately, I have not been able to ride it as much as I ideally would have liked, not only because when I got it, I had already done a 10-day motorcycle trip to Costa Rica on this bike. You can actually check out that playlist right here. So I came back home, and then it was still winter in Ohio. Like, I don't know how many times I have to explain that in the videos when I have to justify why I didn't get to ride as much as I wanted to. And it's just because the simple fact that it snowed for half the year, 6 entire months. And it really messed with my mental health last winter. So by the time May came around, I had decided that I wanted to take a road trip on the Classic. And I actually did. I rode down to Virginia with my husband, dropped him off for his Mid-Atlantic BDR Sportster trip, and then I got to enjoy this bike all the way back home. And so that 600-mile round trip really kind of opened my eyes to some of the things that I love and dislike about this motorcycle. So some of the things I love about this bike in particular is I have the Classic model, which is the one with the saddlebags on the back here and the windscreen on the front. I also have the floorboards on this, which I think make for an absolutely comfortable ride. Now, that being said, the things I dislike about this bike specifically is it is very short, which for a lot of people, that's awesome, because if you have short legs, this bike is actually excellent for you. The seating position is super comfortable, very flat-footed on this motorcycle, and it really does instill a lot of confidence moving and maneuvering a big-ass heavy bike like this. But on the flip side of that same coin is I'm kind of cramped up on this bike here, and of course the biggest complaint that many American cruiser riders have is you can't put your feet out in front of you. Well, that's not entirely true. You can't necessarily put them out directly in front of you, but this is how I like to ride sometimes. And believe it or not, the jugs on these bikes stay pretty cool enough to the point where they don't actually just melt your boot immediately. And that right there is something else I love. With these mid-control floorboards, I can easily stand up on this bike, like stand straight up. It's lovely. That makes it super nice when you're on a long distance trip and you can't put your feet out in front of you, but you still need to stretch your hip flexors. That's really important to me. It's not necessarily the position of my feet that I care about, it's the position of my hips. So this bike, I think, is actually great with giving you different hip and seating positions. So the fact that it is like shorter in the rear, my butt is closer to my feet, so my legs are pretty cramped up. And then I will say the suspension will trick you because it is a monoshock suspension. So it does feel like it is a softer suspension, and it is. Like, this is way more nicer going over bumps than it is on my Road Glide. But the suspension on this is not necessarily the best, especially after riding for over 600 miles. I struggled. My tailbone was pretty ouchy after that ride. Another thing is this windscreen. This is not the sexiest windscreen in the world, but it really does do its job. I do get some buffeting off of it, but I feel like that's just your height. Everyone's height is different. Everyone is going to have a different experience. But for the most part, it does a very good job taking all of this wind off of my chest and deflecting it. Now, some things I absolutely love about this motorcycle. If you can look up right here, this bike comes standard standard with heated grips, as well as it comes standard with cruise control. Cruise control has quite literally been a game changer in my riding style. So I'm very, very, very happy that this has cruise control. And the bike, like, this is the mid-range model. The base model comes standard with this. This is a BMW, you guys. It is high quality. Things are metal on this motorcycle, and it feels like it. It has substance. And that was something I was immediately attracted to on this bike. Where do you think you're going, buddy? You're out in the middle of the road, yeah. So, long story short, why do I even have a BMW? You guys, if you missed that video, that announcement video, you can check that out right here. This is what the thumbnail looks like. Something I did not see coming is when I was in Austin, Texas last April. I was in Austin with BMW for the hand-built show, and they didn't have any classics available for me to ride. They had the Bagger. So I got to ride around on the BMW R18 Bagger my entire time while I was in Austin, Texas, which was a little over a week, y'all. So I got to ride that bike every single day for over a week. Well, yep, that was the nail in the coffin for me. That bike was amazing. And I don't know when it happened, how it happened, why it happened, but all of a sudden I'm a Bagger mommy. And I love my Bagger bikes. I love my Road Glide. I love the R18 Bagger. And just, I mean, I've even ridden like the Indian Challenger, and that's a damn good bike. Like, I just love touring bikes. I love baggers. So, fortunately, BMW agreed to renew the partnership with the influencers and say, you know, we're really liking what we're doing. We're really liking the fun you guys are having and the content you're creating with the bikes. We would love to move forward with this. Would you like to swap out for a Bagger? And I said, absolutely yes! So that's what we're doing, you guys. I am taking the beautiful R18 Classic over to the local BMW dealership, and we are swapping out for a Bagger. Man, this bike rips! Okay, well, it's very, very windy. I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward. Whew. The biggest difference that I truly love about this motorcycle compared to any of my other cruisers is it has a huge front tire on it. And I'm telling you what, dude, just going, like, changing lanes, going over potholes, any kind of, like, uncomfortable road transition, I feel so confident on this bike. And the reason I say that is, once again, going back to when I was in Costa Rica, the roads down there are less than ideal for the most part. And dude, this bike just ate up all of those bumps. That big front tire did an excellent job. I can't believe how much I actually like this thing. Yes, I can. I love all motorcycles, and this one is fast and heavy and pretty. Of course I like it. Alrighty, let's go see my new beautiful babe. Aw, I was a little emotional, man. It's not even my bike and I'm getting sad. Alright, let's go check it out. And here she is. My beautiful, brand new R18 Bagger. All black. Look at how freaking sexy this is. I could just stand here and look at her all day. This is such a beautiful bike, you guys. I seriously was ecstatic when I found out that I could trade in the Classic and upgrade to the Bagger. Oh, I have so much to learn about this bike. I have so much technology to learn about. All of the speakers, the stereo, just everything. Okay, let's hop on and ride. I don't want to keep talking about it. I literally just picked this thing up. It still has the plastic on the dials and stuff. All right, let's get out of here. All right, first things first, we need to put it in rock mode, man. This bike is fast and it's powerful, and I need to ride it like it's fast and powerful. So we are going to put it in rock. Oh yeah, immediate torque. Immediate response. Let's stretch her legs. Not gonna push her too hard because this is a brand new motorcycle. really good. Nothing like hopping on I-70 for your maiden voyage. Oh, I just love this so much. I'm just gonna go home and read the manual. Like I said, there is so much technology in this bike. It really puts my 2018 Road Glide to shame. I love that it comes standard with ABS, traction control, cruise control, heated grips, 90-degree valve stems, TPMS sensors, and just like, there's literally so much more about this motorcycle that I can't even begin to tell you because I don't know about it yet myself. But my favorite thing, it's taller. It's a lot taller than the Classic. I think it sits up about an additional 2 inches. And for somebody with a 31-inch inseam like myself, that makes the world of difference. I still have my feet in a comfortable 90-degree position on these mid pegs. I can still stand up very comfortably, and oh, I just love it. I also love that it has the more pulled back, rised up bars. This is a very, very relaxed ride. The Classic had a little more beach cruiser style bars. Oh my gosh, this motorcycle has 9 miles on it. And I think I put all 9 of I think I put 7 of those 9 miles on it. Oh my gosh, I'm just in love with this thing. It's amazing that this is the exact same platform, technically, essentially, as the R18 Classic that I just rode in the beginning half of this video, but this one just, it fits me so much better. It feels so good, man. This bike is so incredibly well balanced, so it's just like throwing a leg over, standing it up, ripping the throttle. I don't know, if you can find a demo days anywhere where you can go test ride this motorcycle, please do it. Do not go into it thinking that you're gonna go ride a Harley. That's not how this rides. It's a beast all in itself. And that's why I love riding it so much. So immediately I can tell you guys there are a few aftermarket upgrades I'm going to do to this bike. I'm gonna add the protection, the engine guards. I'm also going to add potentially a luggage rack to haul all of my stuff, as well as I'm going to get some highway pegs for this. Now people ask me, like, how do you put your feet up on it? They do make highway pegs. I'll insert a photo here where you can literally just lay your leg right on top of it like that. And I'm so excited! I can't wait to start taking road trips on this bike. So the one thing that is going to take some serious getting used to is this little jog dial over here. So this controls your volume and demonetize. And then it also, you have a menu button here that you can press up and down, and it'll help you cycle through your settings. Now, of course, while you're riding, a lot of your settings are grayed out, but you have radio, and then you have your vehicle information. So just learning all of the ins and outs of that is going to be taking some time, obviously. But I love that you can see the tire pressure right there. Like, checking the tire pressure on my Road Glide is one of the most annoying things I have to do. A, because I don't have 90-degree valve stems, and B, it's just a pain in the butt. Oh, there we go. So the fact that I can just, with a push of a button, see all of that information on this is amazing. I also love that you can see digital readings of your odometer as well as your gas gauge and all of that jazz. Oh, and the cool thing about this, it has linked brakes. So if you mash on the rear brake, it'll automatically apply front brake for you too. It's really cool. Oh, what I was saying is not only can you see your digital, like your trip meters and stuff like that, like I like that I can see my miles per gallon, how much gas I have left in the tank, and just, I don't even know what these timers mean. Anyway, but at the same time, I have my Classic clusters up here. So I love that I have a gas gauge up here because I did not have that on the Classic. I love that I have my speed, RPMs. Knowing what my bike is doing is very important to me. So having all of that information directly in front of me is like, mwah, love it. And a lot of people have asked about, is it smooth? You know, with that boxer motor, you have the piston slamming from side to side, and they're like, it can't ride smooth. How do you accelerate through a corner? I will say, with the drive shaft, that drive shaft spinning as you're riding, it actually acts as a counterbalance. And I've said this in a couple of my R18 videos. So when you're cruising through the corners and accelerating, it's actually very smooth. The one time that it does get scary is if you're not moving, or if you pull in the clutch to rev it like you would a Harley-Davidson. That's when it rocks to the side, and it's actually quite jarring. So I don't recommend revving this motorcycle while moving. To say I'm smitten with this motorcycle is an understatement. I don't care who you are, man. I think this is one damn sexy looking motorcycle. Like I said, I have a lot to learn about this bike in particular, and especially all of the technology that goes into it. But the first thing I need to do is ride the bike. It has a 600-mile break-in period. I'm gonna try to get to that 600 miles as fast as possible, because here before the end of September, we're hitting the road for our very first road trip. Follow me on Instagram if you want to see more about the BMW R18 Bagger. Obviously, it'll still live on my channel with content, but over there it's going to be a bit more frequent. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until my next one, you be good, and I'll see you later.